What's up, everybody? Kagiso Kaledi here, and a lot has been happening in the tech. Actually, just one thing that really concerns me, and I know it concerns a whole lot of people too, is the increase in prices of just products across the board because of the entire AI RAM shortage. Basically, components are becoming really, really scarce. And now it's affecting other product lines across multiple industries within the tech space. And I just want to sort of talk about what's going on and sort of what we can do and what I'm going to do to sort of move forward and actually be able to keep on using tech devices in a much more affordable way. Now, it is common knowledge that everybody uses AI. Everyone, and not one, I don't know anybody who doesn't use AI. It's just maybe the amount of AI that they use. But regardless, a lot of people use AI, huge corporations, all the way down to the consumers. It is it's here to stay at this point. Like nobody's not going to use AI because it is a useful tool at the end of the day. Yes, it has its side effects, but that's besides the point. As a result of AI being here to stay, the corporations providing the AI are buying up all the components that are required to run the AI, such as RAM, storage, GPUs, all of that. These things were available to consumers at a much more affordable price. Now things are different because they are buying up all of these components in bulk to the point where they're not available for consumers. Actually, let me correct that. They are available to consumers. However, that since the demand has shifted to these components being sold to large corporations, the consumers are buying these products at a much higher price than they were about a year ago or 2 years ago, simply because the demand has shifted. Parts are being, it's just like not enough parts to go around because they are being reserved for the AI corporations that are providing the AI services to us. ChatGPT, Claude, whatever AI you want to sort of bring to the list. So as a result, devices that use these components across the industry, such as laptops and phones, are also going to be seeing some price increases because the RAM shortages are kind of affecting those markets. And what is weird is that these products have been around, they've been on the market. It's just that now, like usually how it used to go, if a product has been on the market for a long period of time, the price decreases. And now it's just the other way around where the price is increasing. And it's just so weird because it just doesn't happen generally. So the Xbox Series S and X are seeing a price increase. Microsoft MacBook Neo, some of the MacBook Pros, like the more you increase the storage on these products, the higher the price is now. Like it's weird it just doesn't happen as an economics thing. Usually products on the market for a long time, they go down eventually. You are able to buy the same product maybe 5 years down the line or 3 years down the line at a much cheaper price than when it launched. It's not the case now. So, despite all of this, I am not going to complain because I think my energy could be spent elsewhere that is a bit more productive. So, I think I'd rather sort of look at what I can do as a consumer, as a person who is like really into tech. What can I do to sort of still remain involved within the tech industry, but at an affordable price? Now, that isn't to say what is happening isn't messed up. It is messed up because, it just doesn't happen. But I'd rather not focus too much of my attention towards complaining. So what I've sort of thought about was like, what can I do? Like, what are the things that I'm going to be doing? And it may come off as a recommendation towards you, and it's fine. Do whatever you want. But if you're willing to take the advice, then I suggest that you do the following. Firstly, use what you have. So if your phone doesn't necessarily give you too many issues or anything like that's really like bone breaking, then I suggest you keep it for the next year or two. Have it push a little longer. So if it doesn't have battery issues or performance issues, or it doesn't lag as much, or whatever the thing is that bothers you on a phone, like if it doesn't have that, then I think you can still keep your phone for a longer period of time. If, however, you are in the market for a new phone, I suggest you sort of buy on the feature or thing that you care about the most on it. So for me personally, I care about performance. I just have to have a phone work and be snappy. And, I don't want to just think about its life every time I'm trying to open an app or, take a picture or, just navigating through the phone. It's just not something I want. I have to have it be snappy. So, for example, if you care about a camera, you're going to have to sort of look towards phones that actually have decent to great cameras. So, I recommend that you use that as sort of like a reason to buy a next phone, but not so much to actually get rid of the phone that you currently have that works. The same thing applies to a PC. Look at what you're going to use the PC for, or what is the feature that matters most to you, and buy based off that. Now, again, use what you have. If you already have a PC like me, right, there is an 8 GB Lenovo laptop and it works, everything is fine. So I'm not necessarily in the market for a new laptop. I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to use what I have for now. It works well. Yes, I can't like have local AIs running on it. For now, I don't necessarily need to have local AIs running on it. It's not too much of a concern for me. However, lately, 8 GB RAM PCs are becoming a little bit underspec. So 16 GB is becoming the new baseline. And I think if you have the money, which is not the point of this video, start there. But, use what you have, basically. Just keep the PC that you have. If it works, it works. However, if you're looking towards buying something, I recommend sort of, you know, looking towards the 16 GB RAM models. Are expensive. They are expensive, but at least it'll push you for a while from here on out. So another thing that I just want to touch on is that do not buy what you don't need. For example, tablets and iPads. Now, this right here is a tablet that I bought like in 2023, and I am not looking towards buying another tablet. That's a Samsung Tab S6 Lite. Tablets, iPads, you do not need a tablet or an iPad if you do not have a laptop. If you need a device to actually do proper work, laptop is the number one priority. Do not look for a tablet. Like, honestly, it is not a good purchase if you're comparing the two. It's just not the same product. So I recommend not buying what you don't need. And a tablet, 9 times out of 10, you don't need it. Lastly, out of all the recommendations that I kind of given, this one, I personally, I do not like sort of recommending to people to buy a used phone. However, if you're okay with it, then it is absolutely fine. As long as you know what you're getting into, and I'm sure you're gonna have to be vigilant on the warranty and all of that stuff. It is fine. It's like, for me personally, I just don't like buying used tech devices. I like tech devices to be fresh out the box. But if you're comfortable with it, that is also a viable option as well. So out of all the recommendations, if you do not take anything from this video, take this. Like, honestly, use what you have. If everything works, keep it. Do not try and justify buying a new tech product simply because the marketing is, alluring or fancy, or hey, there's this new feature, this new AI this, new AI that. Guys, AI isn't all that, but just use what you have. But what does this necessarily mean for the foreseeable future regarding the tech products, the industry in general moving forward? Things are going to be more expensive. Like the new iPhones, the S27s and Xiaomi's, Oppo's, whatever, they are going to be more expensive because they are all dealing with the same problem. So I think if like if you're looking towards getting a new phone in that future, like maybe a few months down the line when these phones come out, you're gonna have to be mindful of the fact they're gonna be more expensive than last year's models and the year before. They're just not gonna be launched at the same price if the issue still persists. We as consumers we're gonna have to get a little scrappy for the next year or two, or forever, however long this problem persists. We're gonna have to use what we have and be scrappy, basically resourceful, right? So as a result of being resourceful, other things become, a bit more appealing. Like right now, the more, expensive hardware gets, cloud services kind of become a bit more, enticing, simply because you pay a small amount for using the product that costs a large amount. Oh, and the monthly subscription, or like renting of hardware, it just doesn't stop at cloud services. It can, like, I've seen in other countries like articles and even like web pages where they advertise renting a PC to you, like a physical PC. And like here in South Africa, I haven't heard of that being a thing yet, but they rent a PC to you, and obviously you pay a specific amount per month for, to continue to have that PC in your house. So that could be a more, ubiquitous thing. It might just happen that a whole lot of people might feel inclined to rent a PC instead of buying one outright because the price is just way too high. Another thing that I think will see a huge increase in customers is buy now, pay later services. Things like Payflex, Pay Just Now, Happy Pay, those kinds of services. I think a lot of people might feel inclined to actually use those services to pay for, let's just say, a 15,000 Rand device over a period of 3 months, which that installment would probably come out like 5,000. So it's much easier to pay 5,000 for 3 months than it is to pay 15,000 one time. So I think people might feel inclined to sort of switch to that. Like I use Pay Just Now, and it is a bit more convenient. It makes it easier to pay for stuff, But obviously, you have to be really responsible with it. You have to pay attention to the account. Do not sort of miss a payment, because that's when interest gets you. So obviously be responsible with it. So yeah, that's just how things are moving. Like things are expensive, and we're gonna have to sort of adapt a little bit. Moving forward, I would sort of urge you not to sort of, just buy things willy-nilly. But if you like need certain things, obviously be mindful of what you're buying and how you're buying it, all of that. And of course, just, first and foremost, just use what you have. Use what you have. I think that will sort of, you will realize that you are still functional in today's society, even without the newest product. Like, yes, you have the new iPhone 17, but, a budget phone still does the same things, like it's just a little bit more of an inconvenience, just a slight inconvenience compared to the iPhone. Thank you for watching the video. And if you enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe, maybe leave a comment, and I'll catch you in the next one.